Too fucking long since I sat down and did a chapter video for Tokyo Ghoul. I've had some serious withdrawals. So, before I even get into diving into this, chapter, I gotta make a quick announcement. I just recently uploaded a video. It might not be out yet, it really depends on the rendering times, but I made a video actually retaining to this chapter, but I wanted to split it off from this video because there was core content in the topic I was discussing that didn't necessarily go completely with this chapter, so I decided to split it off and make its own separate video. But the main content of that video retains Tokyo Ghoul Gel, the game of Tokyo Ghoul, and it talks about Ryo most likely being Shiko. That was, a ghoul that was recently introduced in Tokyo Ghoul Re, and he's the guy that, as we remember, was messing with Psycho a while back. And he had the striped shirt, he looked fucking crazy, he had stitches around his eyes and stuff. Pretty much, there is a possibility that Ryo could be Shiko. So, I made a video on that. It might already be out. If it is, it's going to be in the description. You can check it out for yourself and see your own thoughts about that entire theory and stuff. But for now, though, let's dive into this chapter. So, for the most part, I don't really think this video is going to be as long. I really don't. Now, I know I normally say that. I say that quite a bit. But I just don't really think this video is going to be, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It might not even be 20 minutes. There is a very good fucking possibility it might not even be 20 minutes. But, we'll see when we get there. We'll fucking see. Because it really depends. When I start talking about Tokyo Ghoul, I get carried away. And, time just seems to fly. So, welcome everybody to another Tokyo Ghoul video. Let's start this off with the first page. So we go straight into a interrogation room. The editor of Eto's books is being interrogated by, as we go figure, Kaneki himself. Now, before I go into the next pages and stuff, I want to do some real good focus on this first page. For the most part, there's not really much to really look at besides him being interrogated. But there is one key panel I want everybody to kind of focus on when it comes to the first page of Chapter 60. And that would be the bottom one, where the editor is supposedly shaking. Like, you can see where his lips, it looks like he's, shaking, quivering a little bit, and he's tapping. Now, what this usually means in the terms of a person is either A, you're getting anxious, you're getting impatient, okay? Maybe you waited around for too long. Maybe he's been in that interrogation room for about an hour or two, been waiting for someone to walk through the fucking door. I mean, let's say you're at a doctor's office and you're just sitting there waiting for the doctor to come in, and you're waiting a good 45 fucking 50 minutes for the doctor to walk in the door, and he doesn't walk in until an hour later. You're gonna get rather anxious, and so the way you can interpret this bottom panel on the first page, you can either take it as a man that's waited for way too long for someone to walk in, which I don't really think Kaneki would make him wait that long. He probably wants to get information out. Or it's a man that has something to hide, or he's scared. He's a very scared individual. He realizes something really bad. He has something to be worried about. See, a man wouldn't get scared. It looks like he's scared. He wouldn't get scared if he wasn't a guilty man. See, if you're a guilty man, you get nervous. You start showing these little signs, these body movements that you're guilty. And that's kind of what this looks like to me. I mean, a man tapping, getting impatient, it looks like he's quivering a little bit, sweating a little bit. It looks like a man that has something to hide. So, I did hear in the comments and all that about there is a possibility that there could be a reason that this dude, the editor, might be a ghoul. There is a possibility he could be a ghoul, or there's a possibility that he is, he knows about Ogiri Tree, he knows about Eto, and all he just cares about is, business. All he cares about is the money and shit, or, just being an editor and just staying out of the business or whatever Eto has to do. There is a possibility of that. And as I said in the ending of the chapter review for the last chapter, there was a certain special comic part with Eto talking with her editor and saying he smelt nice and all that. Go get some, ghoul information. Go out there in the middle of a dark alley, try to find a ghoul and talk with it and get an interview and stuff. And so there is a possibility he knows about Eto. So I just wanted to point that out. Anyways, moving on to the next page. Kaneki walks in, pretty much the standard routine of doing introductions. It seems like this is the first time he's really getting to contact Kaneki, Kaneki's first time walking into this room. So, like I said, either Kaneki made him wait for a while, which I don't really think he would, or he's just very, very nervous, which you could tell by the way the panels are done. So, Kaneki asks the standard questions of an interrogation, like, you know, here's your name, is this your name, is this your age, are you single, you know, you work here, you know, is all this information correct? Pretty much, Kaneki's asking the questions like, is all your personal information you have here, is this the correct information? If not, we have a problem, because we need to find it out. But, for the most part, the guy confirms, he's like, yeah, that's my information. So, the conversation carries on, and Kaneki asks the question, what is Takasuki's real name? Now, let's be honest here. We already know Kaneki knows who Eto is. We already fucking know this. We already know Kaneki knows who Eto is. We don't need to go through this. But he's asking this question to the editor. And the editor goes on a limb to say, well, Miss Takasuki has decided to not make her real name public. And you see how he's a little bit nervous. Like, you see some sweat and shit coming down his cheek and stuff. So, once again, plays with the fact I said in the earlier part of the chapter. And this means he knows about Eto's real name. Supposedly, if Eto gave her real name. So, that's kind of weird right there. That's pretty damn weird. So, he knows about Eto's other name. And, I mean, it's very common for a writer to have a pen name. I mean, it's very common and not want to reveal their name. Which Eto, as we know, is also a fucking ghoul, so she wouldn't want to reveal that name anyways. But still, it's very common for a writer to have a pen name. So, nothing really out of the ordinary at this moment. But still, this dude knows about, supposedly, another name from Eto. Now, Kaneki asks, forgive me for being blunt, but do you understand the situation you're in? And he gives this fucking smile. Oh my god. Like, okay. I gotta talk about that. There's another part of this chapter where Kaneki smiles, but I'll save that for later when I get there. But I need to take a moment to actually focus on this, because I've neglected to actually discuss this for quite a bit, and I need to talk about it. Has anyone noticed that Kaneki seems very mysterious? Now, hear me out, okay? Kaneki's always been slightly mysterious, but we know about his inner psyche quite a bit. But he's always been a mysterious character. The thing is, has anyone noticed that ever since he's had this transformation to, you know, the red-haired Kaneki, which he doesn't have red hair now, but, you know, ever since he's done this transformation, has anyone noticed that we have been kind of lacking the inner monologues? I wonder how many Chibits have actually realized, or fans of Tokyo Ghoul have realized the lack of monologues, inner monologues, that Kaneki's having with himself. Like, he's not even talking in his mind about certain situations. Go back in the earlier arcs with Heisei Sasaki. You will see Sasaki talking in his mind about certain situations, operations, and stuff. You'll see this entire conversation going on in his mind. He's not talking to, you know, Kaneki, the little white-haired Kaneki in his mind, but he's just talking about stuff in his mind, just thinking like a normal person. And then if we go back to, you know, Shironeki and then Kuroneki in, you know, part 1 of Tokyo Ghoul, they also did the exact same thing. They talked in their mind about the situations, which is very strange, because throughout the entirety of this character introduction, the original personality of Kaneki, he's been very mysterious. You don't see the inner workings of that brain turning. You don't see them cogs moving. I'm not saying he's retarded. I'm just saying you don't know what he's thinking. You never know what Kaneki is thinking, which is fucking scary. Fucking scary. Like, this is a character that did what he did with Eto. Like, he fucking cut her in half and shit. We saw that shit. That's brutal as hell. And this is also a dude that doesn't really care. He wants to die in style and stuff. He's suicidal. And then, you know, he's also just, he's brutal as fuck. So, this dude, we don't even get the majority of his fucking thoughts in his head. We don't even know what the hell he's thinking, which is creepy. It's so creepy seeing Kaneki and not knowing what he really thinks in certain situations. And then showing us these smiles. He's constantly smiling. He's putting on this fucking smile. Just looking at people smiling. Dude, it's creepy. It's fucking creepy. Just wanted to point that out. So does anyone notice the lack of monologues? Let me know in the comments. So, after the smile, he goes back into this, you know, the dialogue, talking with the dude. He's like, okay. He's like, I'm not some fan of Takasuki's, attempting to weasel her personal information out of you. For instance, maybe the editor was thinking that this guy, Kaneki, was wanting to get personal information from Eto because he wanted to know where she lived, or he could possibly get with her because he's a crazy fan or something. Which, I'm willing to bet the editor has had to deal with something like that, but I feel like he knows a little bit different. I think the way he's reacting, he knows something's going on here. He's like, I do enjoy her works, but that is beside the point. Presently, Miss Takasuki is suspected of being a ghoul. This is the strange part that I'm not really understanding at this time. Let me explain. Kaneki had the chance of giving Eto's identity up like nothing. in the last arc. He could have easily said who she was. Okay? But for some reason, the investigation is starting to move forward now. And it's like he's doing his own personal investigation of trying to find out more about Eto. It's strange. Like, he already knows. And he lied to the investigators and stuff, CCG, in the last arc. Like, he didn't say much at all. But why is he doing it now? What's the angle that Kaneki has? Which, once again, plays in a part. We're not getting his inner fucking thoughts. We don't even know what the fuck he's thinking, which makes it creepy. So I'm scared about that point. Now, this is what he says to the editor. If it turns out that she really is a ghoul, and if we find out that you happen to know of this, if you fail to comply with our investigation, I fear your actions could well be described as harboring or concealing the whereabouts of a ghoul. These are actions made illegal under Article 119 of the Ghoul Countermeasures Act. By the way, the most severe punishment is death. Now, here's the thing. We've known about harboring a ghoul, hiding a ghoul is a crime. We've known about this since, like, the beginning of Tokyo Ghoul Part 1, when Nishiki and that entire event right there. And so, as we now know, if you harbor a ghoul or you know about a ghoul's identity and stuff and you're not telling it to CCG, you will break the Article 119 of the Countermeasure Act of the Ghouls, or Ghoul Countermeasure Act. So, this makes you wonder. As we know, Hide. You know where I'm going with this. Hide knew about Kaneki the entire time. Well, let's face the facts here. Hide knew about Kaneki since, like, the beginning of Part 1, that he was a ghoul. So, is there a possibility that there was a deal in place? Maybe Hide gave his life up or something. Or maybe he imprisoned himself because he harbored a ghoul Kaneki and didn't let CCG know. I just wanted to point that out. So, enough of that scary theory. Let's move on. The editor asks Def. He's like, where is Miss Takasuki? And the editor's like, and then he's like, when will she be returning? And then the editor's like, I don't know. I really don't know. She often just up and takes off without a... Kaneki looks like he loses himself right there and fucking hits the damn desk. He hits the fucking desk over, and you just see it broke. It's fucking broken. And he's like, my apologies. Here's the thing. The brutality of Kaneki right now. We already know about it. We know how crazy, like, you know, brutal he is right now, but that shit right there, that's crazy just for Kaneki. Doing that against a person like that, it really goes to show you a different side of him. I mean, we already know he knows technically where or who Eto is. We already know, and we already know he has information he needs. So I'm curious about this. Like, why? Why is he going this far to torment her editor? For what reason? Why would he do this? When there really is no reason for it, to be honest, there isn't. Now, Kaneki says, I need to take a break. I shall return shortly. And then, that's pretty much it with that. So, I don't even know what to say about this, because, I mean, I'm very confuddled about the entirety of this event. I mean, what is Kaneki really trying to gain? I know he's building up a case to go against Ogiri Tree. I know that. You don't have to tell me. But, Kaneki, for him to not say that in the past, and then now to say it, and then doing this, building up this case, I feel like there's another motive here. There is another motive that we don't know, or we're unaware of, is building up. Okay, so after that, we move over to where Kaneki is starting to talk to Furuta. And as we know, the last chapter ended off with Furuta and Kaneki giving this evil fucking smile to the poor editor and scared him shit. Dude, if I saw them faces, I would have shit a damn brick, okay? Those faces are unnatural, unholy as fuck, okay? So, Furuta's talking to Kaneki, and it's still very, very strange how Kaneki and them are talking. Just, I find it so strange. Kaneki definitely knows about Furuta. There's no way in the fuck he doesn't know. Because he's too intelligent. So, Kaneki starts talking to him, he's like, Furuta's talking like, it's going to take some time. Half-read books, labels, memos, plenty of important and even more completely unimportant stuff. It looks like they, just looking for his room right now. And Furuta's like, at the very least, it's clear that this guy's trouble, and that he's an utter slob. So, what I find strange about this is of all the people that Kaneki could contact to look into Eto, and the editor, he would contact Furuta. Of all people he would contact with to do something like this, Furuta. So weird. So fucking weird. It's so weird because we know who Furuta is. We know he's a clown. It was Kijima in his dying message, like he did a dying message, it was in the calendar. And we know how Shida is. It said a decoded message that he was a ghoul. Furuta was a ghoul. And also with him singing, we know he's the spy. He's the clown spy, at the very least. So, it makes you wonder, why is Kaneki talking to this man? Is he... see, there's angles here going on. There's many fucking angles right now that we don't understand. I'm trying to piece this shit together. You see, look, Kaneki right now, he's talking about it to do an investigation when he already knows the fucking information. And then, Furuta, of all people Kaneki could contact to work with, it's Furuta, of all fucking people. Okay, next page. So Kaneki asks, continue searching for the room, please. I, for one, am almost certain Takatsuki and the one-eyed owl are the one and the same. And you have to wear, after all, while he was alive, Kijima often told me that you, Furuta, were exceptionally talented at keeping documented forms in order. And Furuta's like, well, I guess you could say that. That's the only thing I'm talented at. You get that dialogue. What this means is that Furuta might not know about Kaneki. Like, he might not realize Kaneki is catching on to him. He might not. Maybe... what if? Just hear me out here. What if Kaneki... what if he knows? What if he knows that Furuta is Sota? Let's think about this for a second. Remember what Sota did to Kaneki? It kind of fucked up a lot of events. I mean, poor Kaneki, he got turned into a ghoul. Kind of. Because of him. I mean, Rize started, but still. The entire event of why Kaneki got organ transplant and all sorts of things, and Rize just didn't eat him and run away, was because of him. What if Kaneki knows? Furuta doesn't know. And Kaneki's plotting, let's say, revenge, in a way. Because we do know Kaneki believes, you know, payback. This new Kaneki does believe in payback. I mean, we see what he's done to others that he's fought. He's used moves that others have done to him. Pain that they've inflicted on him, like, for instance, stabbing through the eyes or something. He's done. Look at the Karen fight. It's very obvious that maybe Kaneki's ulterior motive here is to get close to Furuta and then stab him in the back, in a way. I could see something like that happening. I could definitely see something like that happening, depending on where it goes. Or maybe Kaneki wants to join the clowns. That's also a possibility as well. But still, I just want to point that out, because it's very strange the way this is building up. Okay, so, the last part of this page, you have it to where Kaneki asks Furuta, I want you to be the good cop, Furuta, and I want to be the bad cop. Because as we saw in the earlier part of this chapter, Kaneki was being a bad cop. Furuta's going to have to play the role of good cop, which is very funny knowing who Furuta is. Just him playing good cop is very amusing to me. So, Kaneki's a bad cop, Furuta's a good cop. So, pretty interesting dialogue there. Now, there is one monologue we do get, actually. I have to correct myself. There is one inner monologue that Kaneki makes in this chapter, and that is this. Takatsuki, don't think for a second that I'm going to let you get away. There's many ways you can kind of interpret this, so it really depends. I mean, it could mean that he's going to be going after Eto and trying to kill her. It could mean he wants to find out more about his new Kagane he got from Eto. Or maybe there's something else he's trying to do. There's many things to kind of interpret this, but I just wanted to point that out. But it's still very vague. Once again, very vague. The inner monologues we usually got from Sasaki, Kuro Neki, or Shironeki were very detailed. So yeah. Next page we go into the conversation or politics. And the amount of fucking salt. The amount of salt in this fucking room right now. In this damn room. is at the level of the presidential debates going on right now in USA. It's that fucking salty. Like, there's so much fucking salt being thrown around in this room. And I'm like, oh my fucking god, just shut the fuck up. Like, some of you. Like, mainly just the fucking Washoes. Just fuck the Washoes. Fuck the fucking Washoes. Or fuck Matsuri in jail. Fuck this man. I gotta say, every time I see this damn dude on the fucking page, in a fucking chapter, I get fucking pissed, okay? I'm sorry. I'm fucking pissed, man, with this dude. I'm tired of him appearing in every fucking chapter. I'm tired of that shit. This dude needs to fucking get... just fucking A. Forgive me. Forgive me. I'm sorry. I had to. This dude just fucking... He gets to me. He fucking gets to me. Oh yeah, so there is a meeting. It's pretty much might as well consider this a political fucking meeting. You have each party having their own guys with them talking, and you have the two Washoes sitting side by... Or not side by side, at the opposite ends of the fucking table. It's like a fucking presidential debate. That's the... There you go. Okay, so they pretty much start talking about Ogre Tree and how it's been a long battle. It's finally approaching its end. It's been a 13-year-long battle. And they're finally getting to the end where they're about to take down the one-eyed owl. And pretty much as they're talking, we get the little monologues or dialogues of each individual character, what each individual character is. Now, I'm not going to go for each individual one of these. I'm going to say right now, because it's very easy to just read this and see for yourself. But for the most part, this entire page is kind of giving a little bit more information about the characters, their names, what they excelled at or what they're good at, or certain little characteristics about them that are probably going to play a huge role in the future of Tokyo Ghoul. But there's a shit ton of fucking dialogue. Like, I haven't seen this much dialogue on a fucking page, I think, since Hunter x Hunter. Honestly, I haven't seen this much dialogue in a fucking manga panel, or manga page, since Hunter x Hunter, those recent chapters. So, like, the latest chapters of Hunter x Hunter, the dialogue in that, it's like a fucking book. It's a damn book. And it's not, you know, it's almost as much, yeah. You know what, it's almost as fucking much. There's just a shit ton of dialogue, okay? And it's just pretty much describing each individual character. Some information we already know about, of course. But one character I want everybody to pay attention to is probably Kyoko Ora. That's the girl I was mentioned to you all about in the last chapter review about, you know, the QS, the new additions, you know, the Aura person that was introduced. Well, there's the sister. So, there's a possibility, once again, the connection between these two characters because of the last names. So, there you go. Just wanted to point that out. So, yeah, definitely Ishida's trying to hint that, you know, they're siblings in some way. Now, we have individual characters that finally make a return back to the forefront. I mean, we get Hoji, we get, you know, Itsuki, you know, Aura makes a reappearance. We have it to where, you know, Suzuya's here, you know, Ui's here. I mean, you know, Heisei Sasuke's also here. Or technically Kaneki, even though he's going by Heisei Sasuke. I mean, a bunch of characters are all here, get their inner dialogue and stuff. But one thing I want to mention is this dude called Mogen. I think that's how you say his name. I actually want to read his little dialogue about it, because I actually had a good laugh when I read it. Okay, Mogen is there for the Second Ward. It is often said a veteran special class as a famed branch office chief. In addition to his investigation duties, he has organized multiple recreational events, including the CCG Dandy Contest and the Interward Baseball Classic. Ashida, man. Ashida's on some crack sometimes. But, what's even funnier about this, okay? After you're done reading that, go over to Hoji. Hoji's this dude that's been mentioned quite a bit. We know about his character. He's been mentioned quite fucking often in Tokyo Ghoul. Here's his dialogue about him, okay? Devoted to the mastery of Quinke, some say he has surpassed even his former teacher Motto. In China was a central figure in the takedown of the Qi Shi Lang. I'm probably saying that wrong. Qi Shi Lang Ghoul organization last year. Placed second in the CCG Dandy Contest. Mogen got first. What in the fuck? What the fuck? What in the hell is a CCG Dandy Contest? I'm sorry, what is this? Let me fucking look this shit up. Okay, I gotta look this shit up. Tokyo Ghoul Dandy Con. I gotta know. I gotta fucking... Okay, so... I don't see nothing on the wiki. What the fuck is a Dandy Contest? What the fuck? It's a fucking... Anyone know? Anyone, please let me fucking know in the comments. You know, knowing Ashida, this fucking Dandy Contest is gonna be like some crazy symbolism and shit for like maybe a character death or something. I don't know. It's Ashida, dude. This is a guy God, she is just crazy. But I mean, seriously, if anyone knows what this dandy contest is, let me know in the comments below. I'm very curious. But yes, Hoji being a part of the dandy contest. Who would have damn thought, man? The man would be in the dandy contest. I wonder who's participating in the Interward Baseball Classic. Who the hell's... I'm done. I'm done with that. Okay, so we have it to where, you know, Suzuya, he's also gets his own little dialogue as well about him, pretty much saying that, you know, he has a lot of people looking out for him, pretty much saying he might be the next Arima, and then also the same could be said for, you know, Hayase Sasuke, but he gets a lot of flack, and people have a strong opinion about him, like a opinion against him. Now, one character that actually stands out among all these, actually, you know, I said I wasn't going to dive into these, but for fuck's sake, I am. Just fuck. But, okay, so, Ui... he has his own dialogue, and for the most part, from what you could take from, like, his little monologue about his character, is that he's facing a lot of repercussions after the last operation, with the raid against the Tsukiyama family, because he lost some very important subordinates, close friends, and then his failure of certain things, he lost a lot of things, and so there is definitely some flack he's probably getting from the higher-ups, which probably hurts his position overall, because of his track record now. So, definitely something we need to look at, too. Maybe Ui is not really doing well in his job anymore, and people are not really looking at him to lead investigations and stuff. So, next page. We have it to where, for fucking fuck's sake, Matsuri Lodge. I'm sorry, I just can't stand this man. I just fucking can't. So, we get some information about, you know, Washu. You know, he's the eldest son and all that. His cold and calculating nature said to be second only to that of his grandfather. Fucking asshole. Yeah, you know, they should just say he's the asshole of assholes. There you go. And he just needs to get that fucking stick out of his ass, and, you know, he needs to die for my boy Shirazu after what he did. That fucking, the indecency he showed Shirazu after he died. No, I can't let that go. Now, what I find very funny about this dialogue is, as he's talking and all that, you know, you have it to where Sasuke, or Kaneki, he's like, I'm here as special class Arima substitute, like they were saying. I received permission from the brewery chief as well. And he smiles. And Matsuri's like, do me a favor and wipe that creepy smile off your face. Matsuri, go fuck yourself. Just go fuck yourself. Just go do that. You know what that face, that gorgeous face of Kaneki's is doing right now? You know what that face is probably saying? If I could read the inner thoughts of Kaneki, like if I could see the monologue inside of his head, you know what he's probably thinking? He's like, I want to gut you like a fish, Matsuri. I want to gut you like a fish. I want to probably turn this entire operation against you to where you could fucking die. I could see shit like that happening, actually. I could see Kaneki turning this entire operation to try to kill his ass. Or kill people. Kill CCG members. I could see that shit happening. I really could. I'm not joking. And any person that Kaneki really smiles at, it's probably not a good sign. It's not at all. So, Matsuri, as we know, he doesn't have any... I guess he doesn't like Kaneki at all, because, I mean, he's being compared to Arima. We know how Matsuri feels about Arima and all that, his negativity towards that. So, obviously, he wouldn't like Kaneki as well, and Kaneki knows this, and the way he's acting, you can really tell. You can see the tension between them. Now, Kaneki goes on a limb to say, like, he's talking about the reports. He's talking about the individual things. He's talking about, for instance, you know, what's going on, what their next task is going to be. For instance, what the main arc is going to be about, this upcoming arc. He starts talking about how Ogiri Tree is on the path to decay. We must make the most of this opportunity and weaken their fighting strength as much as possible. As one thing leads to another, here's the main crucial points of this upcoming arc. 2 points are crucial in this task. 1, taking down the One-Eyed King. 2, striking at their stronghold. So those are the main points. If we are to accomplish these 2 objectives, we have a good chance to eradicate Ogiri Tree completely. Now, here's the next part. With regards to point 1, I have already had personnel from my squad attending to the task. And that's pretty much Furuta talking to this man, you know, the editor. And as this person most likely wields significant social power, we have been conducting this aspect of the investigation with as few people as possible. I believe you can leave this task to us. So pretty much Kaneki's doing his own investigation. He's not really revealing any information about it. So once again, plays very strange fucking rings in my head right now. Bells, alarm bells are going off, because why the hell is Kaneki diving into this, and he's doing his own personal investigation with Furuta, but then he's not giving information out? Very strange. He says, so a person with wields significant social power. A person that wields significant social power. He didn't say the name of the person. He didn't say what the person was, what job he had. He didn't say shit. Weird. Weird as fuck. Very weird. So he's still hiding it in some way. But why is he going... Oh yeah, I'll drop that for now. And as for point 2, there have been many eyewitnesses of reports of members of a strange organization gathering on a certain uninhabited island in Tokyo Bay. An investigation team has been dispatched and is currently searching for the island and the surrounding area. Now, pretty much we're going to be going to an island. Damn, so we're traveling kind of slightly out of Tokyo to a little damn island. That's pretty cool. The place is called Rue Island. Now, I don't know how many of you Chibits actually know, but have you ever heard of the word rue? Like, for instance, you'll rue the day you fucked with my plan, my master plan. And rue is pretty much another word for regret. And that's pretty much what the name of this island is called. The place is called Regret Island. Regret Island. What the fuck? I think this is an island that probably CCG might regret going to. That's what I'm assuming. So maybe my theory about maybe Kaneki trying to kill Matsuri Washu off, it might not be that far. Maybe he's trying to kill off a lot of CCG members. The fuck knows. So during the war, the island was fortified for use as a base from which the capital could be defended. Now, the ghoul supposedly they know about is Tatara, relative of the former head of the Chishilan, a Chinese ghoul. Eto, rank S. So this apparently means that they don't know much about Eto as all. They don't know that she is the one-eyed king. They don't know anything about Eto. So Kaneki hasn't revealed any information. She's still a rank S, because we know she's pretty much the fucking leader. Shiko, which I've already talked about in a separate video, he's supposedly the main protagonist of Tokyo Ghoul Jail. He's Ryo. In the actual dialogue, it says he broke out of the prison because of the Ogiri raid. And as we know, in the Ogiri raid, Ryo also escaped from prison. So there can only be a certain amount of people. That, for instance, means that Shiko is him. Now, underneath that, it's, you know, Hakatori. We already pretty much know all about Hakatori, you know, stepsister to the Bin brothers. So that's actually some new information. And it also appears to be, you know, good knowledge in the use of Clinkcase. And then you have it to where, you know, Shosei to, you know, Hoguro, we get some information about them and how, you know, they fought for the leader for, you know, what position Naki's currently in. They talk about Naki, his position, and then we get Torso of how he's also tasked for being like a driver for them. And so that's pretty much all that comes to when it comes to the actual ghoul side. We do have a couple more, actually. We have, you know, Sato and his, you know, reveal, and how, you know, he also is most likely a part of ghoulification experiments. You have Three Blades Misa, you have it to where, you know, Ayato. We have this information here and there about these different ghouls, but majority of it we already kind of know about, so I don't really need to go over that. Now, in this panel to the right here, Kaneki says, I've gathered data of the primary executives and members here. The strength of the white suits is strong as it has ever been. The existence of the one-eyed ghoul owl is also becoming difficult to ignore. So that's pretty much all that is for that. Now, what I get from this next page is if you look at Hoji, he looks at Owl, and he says it in his mind. He's like, Owl. And you just see his face go down, like his head and all that just goes straight down. You know Hoji knows what happened to Sato. He instantly recognizes Sato and how he's been changed. You can see it on his face. He knows. So, I wonder how that's going to go down, like, once Hoji sees Sato. If they're going to be going to this island, Regret Island, I wonder if, you know, we're going to get a lot of regret. For instance, Hoji's going to see Sato, and Sato is going to say stuff and all that. Be really cool. It'd be really cool if that's what happens if that's what goes down. But, anyways, one thing leads to another. We have it to where, you know, as for the to terminate him, Special Class Hoji, who played a large role in the extermination of Shilan, should be able to provide us with guidance. For instance, Hoji's going to be going in on the island. So once again confirms he might meet Sato and then get to meet up with his, you know, yeah, that's gonna be fucking sad as fuck. So pretty much setting up. Everybody's setting up for their next thing. You have it to where Matsuri Washu is playing politics again, trying to be like, I'm the good president. I need to be the next president. CCG. He's like, the fact they were able to take down Noro during the Rose-Walled operation is something of a silver lining to that cloud. Fuck off, Matsuri. Just fuck the fuck off. So yeah, he's pretty much bragging out, we killed Noro. I mean, even though Noro killed one of our guys, and I'm taking all the credit for this shit, I want to be a fucking scumbag. I want to take... I'm getting pissed. I'm getting fucking pissed. I'm getting fucking pissed, dude. I'm getting so salty right now with Matsuri. This man is bragging about Noro being taken down at the cost of Shirazu's death. And he's trying to take the fucking credit for it. He's smiling! This fucking... I'm done. I'm done. I'm just done. I'm done with this bitch. I'm just done. I'm not dealing with this political game with fucking washoes. I'm just not right now. So, pretty much talking about they're having a dick measuring contest back and forth about who did their job better, how it was a failure or not a failure, so forth, so on. Eventually, it leads to another to where they're just having their little comebacks, and they say that they have a scouting squad already on the island, which is the Hachikawa squad. And we get introduced to, like, another character, Ayumi. She's also there holding a briefcase, very young looking at that, or very short, one or the other. And pretty much you have it to where they're going on the island just to investigate, which I'm glad to see, you know, Hachikawa squad back, actually. I kind of missed him from the end of part 1. I'm glad to see him back here, because he looks like he's kind of out of, you know, Hellsing. But anyways, it seems like this arc is piecing together rather nicely. There's going to be a lot of good shit coming down very soon for this arc. I mean, we have a bunch of characters coming in. This might be... I can already see a lot of death happening in this arc. My overall first impressions, I feel like many are going to die. Like, there's probably going to be a lot of CCG characters that are going to die because of the way the island is named, Root Island. Just, that stands out to me. But also, like, Kaneki's overall angle with Furuta. There's just some things here missing that we don't really understand. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of death. A lot of fucking death. On probably both sides, but I could see CCG losing, getting their ass stomped. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That's pretty much the end. I mean, we have it to where Mutsuki gets revealed, and you see Torso saying, Toru, just getting fucking creepy as shit. Well, you know what, Torso wants to do to Mutsuki, so, yeah. And before Mutsuki gets tortured. And before Mutsuki gets tortured, and we have a reenactment of what happened to Kaneki. And before that shit happens. Because we know it's bound to happen eventually, but and before that happens. So yeah, that's about it when it comes to this chapter. You all have a wonderful day, or... Whoa, what the fuck did I say there? You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.